What's up, everybody? My name is LB the Realist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, where the real is surreal. Thank you for joining me on another segment. Hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe, folks. Love, peace, and light. Let's go ahead and jump into this article here. It's going to be from abc7.com. I picked it because it's a little bit shorter than the other one that I was going to use. The Senate passes $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. Package now heads to the House. So the Senate passed it, now it's heading to the House. Here we go. With a robust vote after weeks of fits and starts, the Senate approved a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure plan on Tuesday. They messed up on this. ARR coalition of Democrats and Republicans joining to overcome skeptics and deliver a cornerstone of President Joe Biden's agenda. I don't know what they meant by that. The 69-30 tally provides momentum for this first phase of Biden's Build Back Better priorities, now headed to the House. A sizable number of lawmakers showed that they are willing to set aside partisan pressures, eager to send billions to their states for rebuilding roads, broadband internet, water pipes, and the public works systems that underpin much of modern American life. Infrastructure was once a mainstay of lawmaking, but the weeks-long slog to strike a compromise showed how hard it's become for Congress to tackle routine legislating, even on shared priorities. There's been detours and everything else, but this will do a whole lot of good for America, said Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The outline for Biden's bigger $3.5 trillion package is next up for the Senate, a more liberal undertaking of child care, elder care, and other programs that is much more partisan and expected to draw only Democratic support. That debate is expected to extend into the fall. Tuesday's Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act started with a group of 10 senators who seized on Biden's campaign promise to draft a scaled-down version of his initial $2.3 trillion proposal, one that could more broadly appeal to both parties in the narrowly divided Congress, especially the 50-50 Senate. It swelled to a 2,700-page bill backed by the president and also business, labor, and farm interests. It drew an expansive alliance of senators and a bipartisan group in the House. In all, 19 Republicans joined all Democrats in voting for Senate passage. Vice President Kamala Harris, as presiding officer, announced the final tally. While liberal lawmakers said the package doesn't go far enough as a down payment on Biden's priorities, and conservatives say it is too costly and should be more fully paid for, the coalition of centrist senators was able to hold. Even a barrage of broadsides from former President Donald Trump could not bring the bill down. The way they wrote this article is very strange. Maybe it's just I don't know. The way they wrote it is weird. This infrastructure bill is not the perfect bill, says Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican in Alaska, one of the negotiators. She said the senators kept at it, believing it's better to get some of what our constituents want rather than none of it. The measure proposes nearly $550 billion in new spending over 5 years, in addition to current federal authorizations for public works that will reach virtually every corner of the country, a potentially historic expenditure Biden has put on par with building of the transcontinental railroad or interstate highway system. There's money to rebuild roads and bridges and also to shore up coastlines against climate change, protect public utility systems from cyber attacks, and modernize the electric grid. Public transit gets a boost, as do airports and freight rail. Most lead drinking water pipes in America could be replaced. Does this mean that money will be allocated for Flint, Michigan? Are they gonna start there? Hopefully. Although I don't see any specific language regarding that. Senator Rob Portman of Ohio, the lead Republican negotiator, said the proposals have been talked about for years, yet never seem to get done, including for a bridge across the Ohio River between his state and Kentucky. We'll be getting it right for the American people, he said. The top Democratic negotiator, Senator Kyrsten Sinema, said rarely will a piece of legislation affect so many Americans. She gave a nod to the late fellow Arizona Senator John McCain, and said she was trying to follow his example to reach bipartisan agreements that try to bring the country together. Drafted during the COVID-19 crisis, the bill would provide $65 billion for broadband and a provision Senator Susan Collins, a Republican in Maine, negotiated because she said the coronavirus pandemic showed that such service is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. Yes, she's absolutely right. States will receive money to expand broadband and make it more affordable. How about you just make it free? Just make the internet free. Like, I don't understand. They just got to make something off of it, right? You just got to make something. Just make something and then mark the price up 10 times. Despite the momentum action showed last week when Senator Bill Hagerty, a Tennessee Republican aligned with Trump, refused to speed up the process. Trump had called his one-time Japan ambassador and cheered him on, but it's unclear if the former president's views still carry as much sway with most senators. Trump issued fresh complaints hours before Tuesday's vote. He had tried and failed to pass his own infrastructure bill during his time in the White House. Other Republican senators objected to the size, scope, and financing of the package, particularly concerned after the Congressional Budget Office said it would add $256 billion to deficits over the decade. Two Republican senators, Jerry Moran of Kansas and Todd Young of Indiana, have been part of initial negotiations shaping the package, but ultimately opposed it. My efforts to reach a compromise were honest and sincere, and unfortunately, we were unable to arrive at a bill I could support, Moran said in a tweet. Rather than pressure his colleagues, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky has stayed behind the scenes for much of the bipartisan work. He allowed the voting to proceed and may benefit from enabling this package in a stroke of bipartisanship while trying to stop Biden's next big effort. He voted for passage on Tuesday. Unlike the $3.5 trillion second package, which would be paid for by higher tax rates for corporations and the wealthy, the bipartisan package is to be funded by repurposing other money, including some COVID-19 aid. Of course. The bill's backers argued that the Budget Office analysis was unable to take into account certain revenue streams that will help offset its costs, including from future economic growth. Senators have spent the past week processing nearly 24 amendments, but none substantially changed its framework. The House is expected to consider both Biden infrastructure packages together, but centrist lawmakers urged Nancy Speaker Pelosi to bring the bipartisan plan forward quickly, and they raised concerns about the bigger bill, and a sign of the complicated politics still ahead. Again, this is going to be from abc7.com. Go ahead and look down below if you guys want to read it for yourselves. I'll leave it there. And all I want to say about this one is it's funny that, I don't even want to say go ahead and leave me your thoughts down below. Leave me your thoughts down below. Like this video, share, and subscribe. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because it's just too frustrating, and you guys have already heard me say it plenty of times before. There's no reason to beat a dead horse on this issue. You already know how I feel about this issue. Yeah, pass the infrastructure bill. We got crumbling infrastructure. I'm not even going to say what I want to say because you already know what I'm going to say. Never mind. But I do take pause when bills like this seem to get done fairly easily and they want to speed it up and they're super long, 2,700 pages long, and no regular person is going to sit there and read through all 2,700 pages of this bill, and they're trying to rush it along. Yeah, kind of raises some red flags there. And then, of course, whatever. Let me get it off my chest. Of course, they take the money from the people. The money that was supposed to be for the people, they're gonna take that money back. Money that's just sitting there because they failed to allocate it. They failed to disperse it properly to the people. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the avenues properly set up for that, and they just failed to get the money out. You know, whether it be the federal government or the states, they failed to take care of the people. Most people are still waiting, pending for their unemployment benefits. Thank goodness they finally released some unemployment benefits for your boy. I've been waiting, pending for months now, and they finally released it. And I heard that they were getting ready to do a dump of unemployment benefits. So I just didn't know if I was going to be a part of that or not, but they actually dumped it. You know what I'm saying? And there's still people to this day pending, waiting for unemployment benefits. There's still people to this day waiting for rental assistance. They signed up months ago, still have not received any rental assistance. You know what I'm saying? But they're so ready and willing to take the money that was supposed to be for the people, you know what I'm saying, and use that to pay for this. But they never take any other kind of money from anybody else. Like, why is nobody ever talking about how we pay for nonstop war? How are we not talking about how Biden just gave away $100 million and over a half a billion dollars, or over, yeah, a $500 million just going to one country, Lebanon? How are we not talking about this? Like, but we don't. Oh, goodness gracious. I took my nose ring out. Oh, I'm frustrated. All right, folks, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm out. I'm moving on to the next story. I'm getting past this one. All right, I'm out.